Hello and welcome to another episode of Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is Bryan Steele and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. So, hi. It's been a crazy week. It's been a great week. So let's get into the week in Bryan. Hobbying. Terrain. Lots and lots of terrain. But we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. My wife and I have been gluing and pinning and gluing and storing and pinning and gluing and clipping and all of the Tinker Turf stuff that was sent to us by the wonderful people over there for the Adepticon tournament. And we are down to like the last box worth of stuff. So we definitely will get this stuff done before the tournament, which is a huge weight off my shoulders, but it is still a lot of gluing and such. So we'll finish that stuff up as soon as we can. Yeah, but not much else. Not a whole lot of other hobbying going on. I just don't have the time currently, as you will understand when I get to the work section of the week in Bryan. Gameplay wise, apart from some playtest games of Warzone and Xeogenesis, I haven't really gotten a lot of gaming in. I am scheduled to play our Rifts game this upcoming weekend, so hopefully that will go off and we'll actually get to deal with the banditos that we've been dealing with, or that we've been waiting to deal with for like a month. It'll be not to be like, it'll be nice to get into some combat, but it'll be nice to get into some combat. No, it's Rifts is such a weird world that occasionally you just the bubble is about to pop, and it has been about to pop for several, 2 games now. And when this bubble pops, for all I know, this might very well be the climax of this kind of mini campaign that Bryan's putting together. My buddy Bryan, I'm not talking in the third person. But either way, that is my gaming plan for this weekend, mostly because I got to take a lot of this weekend to work. Personal wise, I've been going back to the gym, feeling good. It's I hope that it's not just the anti-inflammatories the doctor gave me, but my tennis elbow is basically gone now. I feel a little pressure, but that's about it. So I'm hoping that that will mean that I'm kind of that going to the gym and working on it and everything is helping that it's healing and not just slapping a Band-Aid on it. And then when the meds run out, that it comes back with a screaming vengeance. Hopefully that is not the case. Let's see what else personal wise. Went and saw my buddies play last week, and it was a bittersweet. So the play that he was in is called Love Notes, based off of a book that's full of essays and things about the different facets of love, and it was actually a really cool. It was a very cool experience, but my friend that I went to the play to support told a story about his impending, still working on it, his divorce. And it was a very bittersweet, for the people who didn't know his situation. So the people in the audience that were not attached to what he's going through, I'm sure it was a very sweet tale that had kind of a sad ending. But for those of us that do know him and what he's going through, it was an absolute tearjerker. I love the guy to death. I love his ex to death. It's just hard. It's always hard to see these things, and hearing him tell it in such a beautiful way up on stage was very real. It was very, very real and very, very like Shakespearean tragic. It was really, really well done. It was an excellent way to spend my evening. And I'm very glad that I was able to go, and that my wife and I made that decision. So that was pretty cool. And then let's see, personal wise, I don't really have much else. I hate to be like I'm lame, but I'm getting things ready for the onset of 3 conventions within like 5 weeks of each other. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be somewhat of an uphill battle, especially to try and get work done in that same time period. But it has been, I know that it's going to be a good stretch of very cool stuff for my career and getting out and being, and for some of the games that I'm involved in. So, I am jazzed for it to happen. I just know that like the weeks leading up to them and the couple of weeks in between the first one and the second one, I'm going to be very busy. So I am trying to keep my stress levels low. Speaking of stress levels, work stuff. I'm doing a lot. In fact, probably I think the average person would say I'm doing too much. But I am doing what I can to keep a roof over my head, but also there's a lot of things about my industry that border on they border on necessary. Like you can you could choose to pass up gigs either because maybe you don't get along with the person involved, maybe it's not your favorite topic, or maybe it is maybe a project that you're like, this probably isn't going to go anywhere, but it's a paycheck. All of these things, when you're working for yourself, when you're self-employed in the industry, some would say a freelancer, even if you have a full-time gig, if you're freelancing on the side, there's always that moment when someone offers you something that you go, should I take it and find a way to put it in my schedule, because I want to make sure that this person that I'm working with, or this person that I might be working for, knows that I'm dependable and gets a sample of my stuff. And now that I've gotten my foot in that door, that maybe there will be more stuff down the road. Or is it a situation where you look at someone and go, listen, I just don't have the bandwidth right now. I've got too many other things on my plate, but I'll as soon as I get a free spot in my schedule, I'll come back around and talk to you. There's things that you gotta weigh out when you're dealing with this kind of stuff. And I've been put into a situation several times where I look at a project and I go, it's only a couple thousand words. I can probably smash that out in a weekend. And then I have to remember that in doing that, what I am doing is I'm bumping other things around in my schedule, but also I'm making it so I don't get time off. That weekend is something that maybe I should be spending, taking my wife to a play, or taking the kids out to a movie or something like that. And it's a juggle. It is definitely a juggle. But at this time right now, between Natalie still fighting for her disability, and the state of everything in my nation, I am really not passing up just about anything. Like if something comes across my plate, unless it is truly something that I do not have the bandwidth for, or if it's a bad deal. I have had people, be like, hey, I've got this cool 10,000 word thing that you can do, but I need you to do it in like 2 weeks, and it's only, 3 cents a word. Like that. That's not worth my time. It's not worth my effort. and it is definitely not worth the stress. But other things, for instance, I picked up a little tiny short story for Shadowrun that's got a very very fast turnaround, but it's something that I can probably put out in a couple of days. Catalyst for their fiction stuff, pays okay, pays average on average, and it's a topic that I really enjoy. So I know that it's something that I can smash out. It's a fun little paycheck, and it does help cement me as one of the more prolific Shadowrun writers in their fiction world, which is important to have those name associations. But yeah, so like it's just a lot. There's just a lot going on. Let me just roll down the thing. I went to Shadowrun. So we augment issue 1. I believe is up for pre-order. I'll put the link in the description of the video, which should be coming out here very shortly to the people who pre-order it. And then we're already started working on issue 2, the Shadowrun First fiction protocol, basically a bunch of short story type things that the Shadowrun folks are going to be putting out in various formats. I've got my finger in that. I've obviously still be working on the World of Shadows compilation. The Night Court, my newest novel, should be out later this summer. And the World of Shadows. Oh yeah. I forgot to say, World of Shadows season 2. The first episode dropped on Monday. Second episode, or every episode gets dropped Monday night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on the Six Sides of Gaming YouTube. I'm gonna try my best to be in the live chat for each one of those. So that way, so having watched the first episode of my involvement with World of Shadows, it was tons of fun to rewatch, because again, we did so much filming in just a couple of days. I remember a lot of really cool moments, but some of the back and forth banter and some of the dialogue and things got lost in the shuffle. Or I was so busy, focusing on what I was going to do or my next action, or thinking about something that someone just asked me, I might miss some of the little side banter. So I'm watching it too, for the first time in its compiled format. It's awesome. So if you haven't watched World of Shadows Season 1, I definitely suggest going back and watching that. It's a lot of episodes, but it's very entertaining, and it's got a lot of really cool character building stuff for some of the people that I get to play with in Season 2. Alternately, you could just start up on Season 2. You will probably run into a few personality things with some of the characters. You're like, why is this a thing? So please just watch the show, watch it, share it, like it, comment, do the things. But if you do get the time and you want something to just kind of run into the background for a few days, go ahead and watch season 1 to get yourself caught up, because it would be awesome. So that's all the Shadowrun stuff. I know that's a big chunk. Still working on some cool stuff for Point One Games, the World of Drashar. In fact, I am trying to help Nathan with finding a dice manufacturer for his Doom and Destiny dice. Very, very cool stuff for his system. I've got a handful of backgrounds that I need to clean up for the Evil Dead 2 5e book that we're working on with Lynn Vander Studios. Let's see what else. I just finished a one of the organized play adventures for the Wardens of the Eastern Marches, the Gamehole Publishing organized play system. Super excited to see that, and I think I might actually try and run it once or twice at Gamehole, if Alex will have me. I'm already signed up to be a special guest at the show, but I think it'd be fun to play my own, or to run my own adventure at the table. So that should be cool. Yeah, what else? I know I've got more. I mean, other than the stuff that is my normal everydays. I think that might be it. I think that might actually be all of the extraneous stuff. Oh, nope, I lied. Lynn Vander Studios also reached out to me. It sounds like I'm going to be doing a very short, small project for them, involving a partnership that they've got with another company. Mostly, it's kind of just a splat adventure work, but always fun to write a quick one shot that may fit into someone else's motif. And then, like I said, I mentioned getting some playtesting in for Xeogenesis. It's slowed down a little bit for me because I've got so many other things going on. But I've lined up the first real big, like higher point playtest game using the faction that I helped dev. I think that's happening this weekend. Looking at my calendar. Yeah, it's supposed to happen this weekend. So, fingers crossed. Warzone! Let's talk about Warzone. So, the last weekend I drove up to Michigan and sat with Alex, and we packed and sorted and QA'd a ton, thousands of COcast figures. I got to... this was my first real introduction to how COcast works, like the actual product itself. I may do maybe a COcast 101 at some point. I know I've posted a couple of notes that we've learned, but it's definitely different material. It's not a resin, and it functions a little differently than like GW sprue styrene. It's cool. It's a really neat material. I mean, every material's got its own hiccups, but it was cool to see, tens of thousands of miniatures, but thousands of minis that we helped create, to see them finally in the flesh. So that was very cool. And I'm hoping that everything holds up. Like, when we were packing some of these bags of minis, there was definitely a quality, like I like the way it feels. It cuts soft like a resin, but it's like thumpy hard like a plastic. When we had to take some bits off of some of the sprues because the sprues were giving us issues. It's extremely. It acts like plastic, like you got to twist it and pop it and But as soon as you put a knife to it, a sharp knife, it goes right through it like butter. It's so interesting of a material. But we seeing some of the models, like seeing the Razid in the plastic for the first time. That model is awesome, and the weapons are fits perfect. The stuff we were able to do with it, seeing them now in person, I'm very excited to see what we're capable of, like what kind of negative space cuts and things we're able to do with that material. But all that aside, the reason I went up is to help pack and start sorting and such for distribution, to start the fulfillment process. Now, it will be a slow-going process because Alex is a one-man show with only a handful of people helping him from time to time. And it's thousands of packages to pack. So there's a lot. There's definitely a lot, but it is a process. We managed to get a modest amount of people's orders packed and ready and sent to delivered to some of the people that we knew were going to be able to get their hands on it quickly. The process, we went, I think we did two whole factions completely sorted and packed and ready to go, to get them out the door when everything is sorted. It's daunting. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to handle, but every time we finished one, every time we made our note that says, okay, we need to have 176 of this box sorted and ready to go. Go, let's do this. Dun, 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 dun. When we started doing this, it's a lot. But as soon as we were able to green tick that box and say, all right, the Mortificator boxes are done, or tick, we have all of the Nephirites and all of the Razids and all the Praetorian Stalkers in their boxes and ready to go. That's cool, and it feels good. And knowing that in the next, the months to follow, there will be more and more people with our product showing up on our socials, talking about the models. Shortly thereafter, putting primer and paint and getting these guys, to be the art representative, the internet picture representatives of, the fans using our stuff. It's awesome. It's amazing. We know there's going to be hiccups. We know there's going to be issues. There always is. No process is perfect. But Alex is doing a really, really good job of trying to handle this in chunks and in stages that are logical. From the very beginning, this of the Kickstarter, Alex has had the most level-headed, pragmatic view on how to make this work best for him, best for us, and hopefully the most reliable for the fans. I think that it might take a little while, but I look at other Kickstarters that take months to fulfill, and in the end it all works out. So hopefully we will not run into those kinds of problems, but it is definitely the process has begun. And just being able to say that, and the starter pistol has fired, no matter how many steps we've taken toward the goal, steps are being taken toward the goal, and that is awesome. I can't wait. On non-fulfillment stuff for Warzone, playtesting continues on the stuff that's not in the Kickstarter wave. I mean, it is a different world to all the stuff that everybody knows about that's coming. That's one thing, but getting to see the playtesters using the models that no one has seen yet, getting to see some of these playtest results, and even getting to participate in some private playtesting as well. The game is really coming together. It's came together. The game is done. But seeing this world expand, knowing that Adepticon, the Eternals champion tournament is right around the corner. These are all things that are just going to help cement Warzone Eternal as an actual this game is now here. It is on the market. It is got a fan base. It gets played. Its championship tournament sold out. These are all things that just help us see that Warzone. Apparently, my printer is printing something weird. Sorry about this, guys. I don't know what it's trying to do, but I'm going to turn it off momentarily because I don't want you guys to have to deal with the printer sound. So sorry about that. Hazards of a wireless printer. yeah, so Warzone is coming together. The fulfillment has officially begun, even though it might take a little while. It is started, and that is what makes me happy. Yeah. More to come as people start getting their minis. And honestly, once I have an opportunity to show you guys some cool stuff, I will as well. Bringing us to Evil Genius. And the reason why I saved Evil Genius for last is obviously it is taking a ton of my time right now because it is my full-time staff gig. But it is also because we just launched our Sidekick app, which that's the topic of the day. But even without that, I have, let's see, I just released the Take Us to Your Leader adventure, a Close Encounters style adventure for Everyday Heroes. We just launched that on Sidekick. The PDFs for Dominion of Iron, Pacific Rim Dominion of Iron, and Kong Skull Island Creature Codex have just been sent out to backers, because obviously we've sent the files off to be printed, so that way they can get physical copies later. But everybody who got a digital copy should have already gotten their email that says, hey, go get your digital copy. And people have been already sending in messages and things to us that they're really happy, that they can't wait to start playing with these. The books are pretty. So that's a huge weight off my shoulders. Still have Isle of the Damned and the Jaeger Codex left to send out to people, but that's just a matter of getting the layout guys to make the cool compressed bookmarked PDF thing. Technical jargon that is beyond me. But once those are put together and we get those out to the backers, then it's just, we gotta wait for the prints to come back and pack everything up and off to those backers. I am currently working on the Everyday Apocalypse kind of source. It's source book. It's not really a source book. It's more like a bonus feature kind of thing, a way to play in some post-apocalyptic settings and rules for Everyday Heroes. There will be an adventure attached by that, written by the amazing Tom Pugh. And let's see, what else am I working on? I started the Everyday 20s, which is the Roaring 20s Everyday Heroes style. The Intergalactic Heroes Player's Guide. I am down to the last, I think, page worth of text that needs to get put together, and then we get to send it off to the editor. Once it gets through editing, then we have to get the art and layout. And there's still a lot more to do with that book, but knowing that it's created and basically now it's just post-production spit and polish means I can devote the rest of my attention into the Intergalactic Heroes Game Master's Guide, which is a whole other bag of chips, but it's going to have a bunch of really, really cool stuff in it, plus some adventures written by some of my adventure writing colleagues from around the industry. We'll also get to add in a bunch of new species and a whole bestiary and some new spaceships, and it's really going to be kind of like this is the game masters, this is the guide to being a good game master, but it's also, here's a pile of really cool assets for you to just be able to add to your Intergalactic Heroes game. So looking forward to sinking my teeth into that. Had a meeting about a very interesting product that I wasn't expecting we were going to be able to do for Everyday Heroes. We'll see how that turns out, but I can't really talk too much about it because it is still we haven't actually advertised it or announced it, but I'm very excited. It's working with a new writer who I respect very well, very much so, and I can't wait to see what he comes up with on the topic in hand, the topic in question. All right, so you know what? That's pretty much all my work stuff. Let's go ahead and talk about Sidekick. All right, so Evil Genius Games. Obviously, we've made Everyday Heroes. We've made a bunch of cinematic adventures, which are rules and setting overlays for Everyday Heroes, and we've got things in motion for Intergalactic Heroes and Everyday Arcana. As we have the room to be able to add them. We just recently announced the Return of the Living Dead cinematic adventure that uses Everyday Heroes as its core base, and more is on the way. The CEO of Evil Genius and my boss over there, Dave Scott. Dave is very heavily involved in the idea of being able to make role-playing access easier for everybody, and we can all agree from our time during the pandemic that sites like D&D Beyond, Roll20, Foundry, all those kind of digital assets, they've really helped. They've really helped people be able to still play role-playing games while they're remote, while they aren't able to get out of their house, or maybe with people that they just never get a chance to see. I know that one of my best friends and I, he lives half a country away from me, and we both have families, and we both have jobs, and it's difficult for us to get to see each other. But for almost a year, we played a D&D game like every Wednesday night through Roll20, and that's that kind of ability wouldn't have been there 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It wasn't something that I could really do easily. I mean, obviously you could always have chat room games and MUDs and stuff, but it was like having him there at the table. And Dave has always been very big and very interested in that aspect of the evolution of role-playing games. So for quite a long time, he's been working with his IT people to create Sidekick. Last year we launched Dispatch, our Dispatch app, which was an app to be able to plan and organize your adventures or your gaming sessions, like where you're going to run things, how long is it going to be, do you want to sign up for this, have a character logged with our organized play system. So the Dispatch app has been kind of a logistics thing, whereas Sidekick is more like a game library. Sidekick, woo, that's different. Sidekick takes our primary books, takes all of our Everyday Heroes or our Evil Genius core books, and puts it in a kind of a depository of like a drive-through RPG style. So you're not buying a PDF. It's a listed library of our books and our products and adventures and games and maps and all this stuff. And you sign up for Sidekick, which I obviously up with the address in the description of the video. And free access lets you basically, like, you just sign up for you log in, you sign in, and you just can kind of like peruse and look around, and you have access to stuff for free just to be able to look and see stuff. If you become a subscriber, subscribers, it's $5 a month, or $4 a month if you pay for an annual. Like if you just pay 1 year up, 1 year in advance, you basically get 20% off. for $5 a month, your monthly subscription gets you access to some things for free, just books automatically, like the Everyday Heroes core book, the Vault, which is our rules expansion. So it's got rules for like mechs and mutants and cybernetics and stuff in that book. You get access to those for free with a subscription. As soon as it becomes available, you'll get access to the Armory preview, which is kind of our collection of weapons. You'll get a preview to that, and then you also start earning tickets. Think of it like movie tickets, because that's like our big shtick is, movie and TV is kind of what we're trying to emulate. You get 2 tickets a month for your subscription, and each ticket is basically $5 worth of product. So, for instance, my most recent the adventure I just launched, the Take Us to Your Leader, is either you can buy it with money if you just want to buy it straight away for $5, or 1 ticket. So if you are a subscriber, so you're already in the system, you're already have access to the rule books, and you're earning effectively, you're spending $5 but earning $10 worth of access for your library card every month. Then you can refer friends, and there's all there's the normal refer a friend type subscription stuff that always happens. But even just on its like as it's front facing, $5 a month gets you effectively $10 worth of access, plus anything else free that might come out as things go. And then we're like putting all of our convention adventures, access to like maps and tokens for your VTTs, all that stuff is in Sidekick. And then I think in the next month, I want to say it's in the next month, we're going to add an interactive character sheet, so you can build your character in Sidekick using the rules that you have access to. I know the IT guys are still working on that, way beyond me when it comes to the technical stuff on that. I don't know. But I know that they're working on a character sheet, and then eventually the goal is to allow third-party people, basically third-party publishers, to upload. If they have a subscription account, they can upload their own products into the collective library for other people to pick up and play and buy. And then basically we share the profits go to they get split between the creator and Evil Genius for hosting it. So hopefully I would say in the next couple of months you're going to see a bunch of new stuff get uploaded into Sidekick that isn't even made by us, but uses Everyday Heroes and eventually Intergalactic Heroes and Everyday Arcana to be available. So I'm very I won't lie. I am, like I've mentioned this before, when it comes to like the role playing stuff, I'm the guy who's like, leave your laptop at home, print out your character sheet, bring a book, bring some dice, digital dice, bleh. Like I recognize I'm that guy. And when I hired into Evil Genius, I did have to come to terms with the fact that Dave is very technologically inclined. He really wanted to make sure that this app was something that happened. He wants to make sure that Evil Genius tries to make these games as accessible as possible on a digital basis. And I don't want to say get over that, but it is something that I had to come to terms with, that a lot of the stuff that I'm making, that I'm designing and developing, is being created with a digital format in mind. It took me a while to come around to it. And I still to this day prefer give me a dead tree book over a PDF every day, all day. And for my retail store brethren out there, I absolutely will fight forever until someone forces me not to have things that are digital only. Apart from like adventures. I mean, adventures, the days of the 12-page slipcover D&D adventure is long gone. But I like the physical media a great deal, but I have to say that I do use D&D Beyond as a rules depository, as a library for me to be able to look things up really fast when we're at the game table. I'm very I I can admit my mistakes. I'm a big boy. Sidekick is extremely useful when it comes to quickly looking things up, or in the case of if you are running an adventure from from a tablet or a computer or something along those lines. I could absolutely see Sidekick being extremely useful and beneficial in that instance, and it's only getting better. The things that we have planned to put into this app at no additional cost to you guys, it's totally worth it. And I will stand by the fact that I was afraid of progress in this instance, but it is also it is good to know that there is no generative AI involved. We still stand by our technological code of ethics. We are not using that. We're not using the blockchain stuff that has come up in the past on other conversations. But it is, especially with people like myself on the team who are extremely, like, violently against the use of that sort of thing in creative spaces. That I would not be telling people to use this if I thought that if it broke my own personal code of ethics. So it is a library of cool rules, and the subscription gets you free stuff. I mean, I guess it's not free, but subscription gets you more stuff than what you're paying for. Yeah, that's how it works. But if you want access to cool stuff for your Everyday Heroes games, and then as things move forward, the Intergalactic Heroes and Everyday Arcana, it's totally worth it. It's worth $5 a month, $4 a month if you've got a spare 48 to drop to just go ahead and give yourself a year and then fire and forget and be done with it. And then just signing up, you get some tickets to start off with, and then you get more tickets as the months progress. So yeah, I think that you should, even if you just follow the link to set up a free account and surf, and you're not even out $1. Just go take a look, wander around the website, see what kind of stuff you might be able to you might want to get into, and maybe it will attract you to grab an account and start playing our game, because that's really what this is all about, is to try and make it more accessible for people to read, enjoy, and play our game, because that is why we do what we do. So please check out Sidekick. And obviously, if you are here for any other reason than a role-playing game, if you're one of my miniature game people, keep your eyes peeled for Warzone stuff in the wild. Join our Discord, join the Facebook page, like, share, subscribe, comment. You know all the biz. But more than anything else, please be safe. We're in some unsure times. So be safe, wash your hands, get your shots, wear a mask, just, try and leave every place a little happier than when you got there, and I think that we're going to end up being okay. Until next week, thank you for watching, and, just go out there, have fun, and play some games, because I'm gonna. Bye, guys.